I wanted to chat
100%.
about something that we were texting about modern artists. And you texted me, I've had a lot of thoughts on this and how artists have become so self-promotional. And you said hot
Yes.
take. Um,
I
so
did say that.
you did. So what are your thoughts on the modern artist and how they need to become, or that they have become so self-promotional? And it's sort of tying into what we're saying here about TikTok and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even figured out in my brain. That's why I
Yeah.
figured like that's why I'm texting you about it. Like I honestly like I don't know, but
Mm,
my hot take on it is like how do I word this? If you are a kid in your bedroom and you
yeah.
pick up a guitar and you go, wow, this is magical. Or in my case, I'll just talk about myself. Why am I
Yeah.
using an example? I was at my cousin's house, on my mom's side, and I don't see them often, but, I guess he had gotten a drum kit and he had had it for like a year or two. So he would play like some things, whatever, but this was the first time I had been there and seen it. And he was kind of like playing a little groove, and I was like, I can do that. I've never played drums in my life. Why did I think I could do that? I couldn't do it, but I sat on the kit and I just like immediately had this like experience with it where it was magical. It was literally magical touching it. Like the drums, like you probably had the same experience. Like I feel
Yeah.
like any
Yeah.
like drummer, like as soon as you
Yeah.
sit down, you're like, wow, like this is where I'm meant to be. Like it's just a
Yeah.
weird thing. And I'm
Yeah.
sure other people have it in their own, disciplines or whatever. But for me, it was drums and like, even being the drummer, like I think a lot of the drummers I know have a certain personality where it's like we like to kind of be in the back, but we like to be the loudest person. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Sure,
I want to be
sure.
heard in my own way, but I don't need to be seen.
Right.
And all of a sudden, TikTok popped up, and me as a drummer, I have to put my phone up and do this, and then film. Like what? I don't want my face to be on the internet like that. Like
Yeah, yeah.
who? Why did that become a thing for musicians to do? I understand for like influencers and like whatever, like that's what they do. That's how they became to be an influencer because they enjoyed doing that in the first place. But when did that like technique of promotion, like why did that somehow like why did that give labels and the suits of the industry, like why did that give them this like get out of jail free card to be like, oh, this exists, go do it and go be famous? It's like, what? Like I did
Yeah.
not sign up for my face to be because, and I came up with this little like I don't know, mantra, I guess, where it's like if I I I I don't want to say it, I want to sing it, like I don't
Mm.
know, maybe that's already been said before, but I thought it was pretty clever for that. But
Very cool, yes.
when we don't want to say it, so we sing it. And I think our
Mm.
promotion, like our job is to create the music and to sing our feelings and to sing our every little thought, not for me to put the phone up and be like, so today I made a grilled cheese sandwich and the cheese looked like cheese. Like I don't want to know that, and I don't want to be the person on the other side of the phone doing that. You know
Right.
what I mean? And then all of a sudden, all of this like this heavy weight got put on the artist, being like, when
Mm.
artists started to be noticed by TikTok, that's artists being discovered on TikTok, not artists that have existed before TikTok and now have to learn how to use TikTok. And like one could kind of listen to me saying this and be like, well, boo hoo, like adapt, right? Adapt.
Mm.
But I think when the adaptation takes away from the true purpose of the art and the substance to the art, because you're now trying to fit in a very narrow mold of TikTok, and it is narrow. People say, well, it's not narrow because you can find anything on TikTok. No, but you have to, hold the phone, do the Gen Z shake, then you got to have good lighting, and then you have to do this, and there's all these parameters, and like the less edited, now it's more edited, like all these things. And I'm okay, team, if you want us to do that, then you do that for us, because like
Yeah.
that's not, I have no idea how to do that. Like, and whatever. So, anyways, if you're a musician that can do that, great. You will probably win in life, and that is great for you. But to generalize and expect, and labels have whole marketing campaigns that the only touch point on it is TikTok.
Yeah.
And we're seeing less of that now, granted, but for a few years, like for, probably 4 years, 3 or 4 years, like it was marketing campaigns surrounded solely by social media, numbers, and TikTok. So
Yeah.
here we are putting all of this time and energy into saying it opposed to singing it. And you, and then my band, I personally completely disconnected from music as a whole. I don't even listen to music now. I don't care. I don't want to hear what's on TikTok. I don't care what's on New Music Friday. To me, it sucks. And maybe my song will get on New Music Friday and someone else will say that sucks. And that's fine, because it probably would suck, because I am now finding my way back to true artistry, because TikTok created such a how do I say it, like a diluted and
Facade or something, or
one size fits
mm,
all. For you have to be this way and you have to make this kind of music or you won't get noticed. Music just is clickbait now. It's not actual, like you can't have an intro. No, you can't have an intro,
sure.
because if you have an intro, everyone's going to skip next on your song. Like we started making
Yeah.
music for such wrong reasons. And yeah, the shift happened, and now we're all kind of like scurrying around being like, wait, I didn't sign up for this.
You're right.
And we're trying to find our way back. And I'm trying to find my way back. Now I'm trying to sing it, not say it. I don't want to speak. I just want to sing what's on my mind.
So this is a hot take.
It's a hot take.
It's a hotter take than I thought it was going to be, but no, it's great. It's a great
Oh, you
take.
didn't think that I would talk for 5 minutes straight about it?
No, not like that. Not like
You
that. It
thought
just,
wrong.
it's very interesting. I agree with pretty much all of it. I think it's interesting, and I've been having these chats as well on the pod, but off mic as well, about how TikTok has become so, yes, so self-promotional, but it's not necessarily um it's not necessarily like the label's fault. It's very much so on the just how the platform is, because it's all like, it's basically, TikTok is all about who you don't know and discovery, while Instagram was like who
Mm-hmm.
you follow. So you had a
Community, yeah.
choice. You had a choice to follow these people that was sort of on your feed, while TikTok, the For You page is the main sort of feed, and the For You page is basically the people that you don't know. So
Yeah.
it's putting power into individuals. While beforehand it was definitely more based on the community and the people that would follow you, primarily
Mm-hmm.
probably because your content and your music was good. And
Yeah.
now the power was all in, quick transitions, or quick little bits of music, or like fancy videos, or like attractive people on TikTok and stuff. And
Yeah.
if your like 15-second video was cool, then you'd get likes and comments, and then the algorithm would go up, and then therefore your music would go up. Um, so it's I you know I want to echo what you're saying about how sort of artists got lost a little bit, because they weren't necessarily thinking about sort of what quote unquote mattered, I guess, in
You're
many
also
ways.
putting like you're also putting your entire career in the hands of fate, in the hands of luck and
Yeah.
chance, because we got really discouraged in the pandemic, because like we would put out music that we thought was really great
Mm,
and put it on TikTok. And like in our heads, we're like, well, if it's a good song, like other people will think it's a good song too.
right.
Because this is for TikTok is for discovery. And it did nothing. Like it was
Right.
actually embarrassing. It was embarrassing. It was humiliating for us. Like
Right.
and we did it to ourselves with an expectation of, oh, this is going to do well,
Hmm.
because we like it. But it actually doesn't work like that. TikTok doesn't work like that. If you and so I just think, yeah, like it all comes down to, yeah, the labels are responding, not creating the demand. And I think, um,
Yeah, that is
but I
true.
do think though, if the energy and the efforts were focused on gaining real fans, not just gaining followers, then things would have been a little different for artists like myself who had been around for years before TikTok, you know?
Yeah. Hmm.
But you know, that being said, like we did have our moment on TikTok and that was great. It brought us to Asia. It got us a gold record. Like we had our moment, but it also
Yeah.
was really, it was a really toxic moment because then we
Sure.
expected that. And again, that's our own expectation.
Hmm.
But TikTok
Yeah.
is a piece of it. It's a very
Yeah.
helpful tool, but I think we got very zoomed, we being the industry and most
Hmm.
artists in it. Like, and I think a lot of us were kind of demoralized to, you know, doing the things on TikTok that were clickbaity. Like it was a little humiliating.
Mm.
It's not who everybody is, you
Right.
know, but you do what you think is best in the moment. And God, I wish we stuck to our gut in those moments. And I go on TikTok now, not to relate everything back to TikTok, but I see everyone changing who they are to fit into the mold when that was like actually not the point of
Mm.
being an artist. An artist is, you know, their most authentic self so that it can be an example to everyone who's, you know, in finance or a doctor who wants that escapism. And I think that's our job. So why are we trying to be so rigid, you know?
Mm.
That's the complete opposite of what we should be. So